Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste, Akka. What happened to the rest of the people? What happened to the rest of the people? Shobhu is here.
Namaste, Mama.
Namaste, Shobhu. Okay. Yeah, let us start with 3 ohms before the others will join. Let's take a deep breath. Om. Prabhatam. Namaste. Namo Namaha. So today Kranti is not there. She's not very well. So I asked her to take a break to rest a little bit. So it'll be just me for the full show. Wishing you all a very happy Diwali. Let's
Thank you.
start.
Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste, Meena.
Thank you.
Namaste, Srilata.
Happy Deepavali.
Hmm?
Happy Deepavali to everyone.
Oh, thank you. Namaste. And let's start with just thinking. Let me share the screen. This 18, that's where we start? Or 17?
You have to start 16. 316.
16?
Yes.
Okay. So you have seen enough of this review, so I'm just jumping straight into 316. Or do you want me to go back a few sutras? We only did, I think, 2 sutras or something last week.
Last week we
Anyway,
did only one sutra.
we did only 1 sutra. Okay.
315.
We back up 1 sutra. Okay, we did one sutra. So we spoke about dharmi, right? We spoke about dharmi earlier. A dharmi is one who follows the message of that arises from the samadhi state. So he has placed a question in dharana, he has let go in dhyana, and then in the samadhi state, in that complete peace comes the experience. So the experience is of such a nature that the dharma is so indescribable. The person who has done this can only follow the dharma if he's truly, when he's truly in that state, that's a high state, he can only follow that dharma. That is why he's called a dharmi. So that's what that Sutra 14 stated. In Sutra 15, we saw Krama Anyatvam, Parinama Anyatve Hetuhu. So Krama means sequence. In Sanskritam class, the teacher will always say, Kaha Kramaha, she will ask, whose turn is this? Turn or sequence, whatever. So Krama means sequence or sequence of events. In the event, what is the sequence? Like how we say in different programs, right? Program, prayer song, then welcome speech, then the speech by the chief guest or somebody else, and then finally in the mid portion of the program you have the chief guest speaking, and then following that some entertainment, and then national anthem, we close the program. So that sequence. So he says the cause of different results arising from the Samyama process results in different sequences. That's what he says. Because the nature of the question could be in such a way, the way we state the question could be in such a way that the sequence itself could be different. That's what he says. And that's the reason why also when people are when very high evolved people, when that's what we see when people write these kinds of commentaries, because of that they read what was written by, say, Patanjali Muni, and then they give various interpretations, and many times the interpretations will look so different because of the way the question was posed, and they got the answers. And also you have to understand because the person who's writing the commentary may not be at the very high state, their own filters also change how the commentary is being written. So these are all reasons for the difference in sequences. So let's go on. Let's go on to 16. This is what he says in see, for 315, the sutra that we just covered. So yeah, since everything is understood in terms of flow of the cosmic flow of Rita, and the flow of karma patterns, collective unfolding of dharma, the perspective ability of the yogi, the point of focus, different sequences lead to different results. That is what is the meaning of that sutra. This explains why each yogi has different experiences. This is what I was telling you. So next sutra, Parinama Traya Samyamat Atita anagata jnanam. Parinama traya samyamat atita anagata jnanam. Parinama we know, result. Traya is the threefold. Here, because we are actually we have already done the samyama, and then we are looking at the results of the samyama, right? And we also know, based on the earlier sutras, the results of the samyama have three characteristics. That is dharma, the lakshana, and avastha, right? Dharma is the characteristic, lakshana is the indicators, and avastha is the state. These three form, these three things are there as part of the answer that one gets. So here the samyama that is talking about is referring to these three. That is, you already did the samyama process, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, and then you took that, and then you're trying to analyze it, and again you do a samyama on the answer that you have got to get more clarity. So that's what he's talking about. So when you do that samyama on the result, which means you're trying to look more in detail the dharma, lakshana, and avastha, atita, the past, anagata, that which is yet to come, not yet come, that is the future, jnanam, knowledge or awareness of that comes. That is the result of the threefold samyama unfolds the knowledge of the past and future. So you can know what happened in the past, not only for yourself, but you can know the past of others as well. This is what Dr. Rajan would do. When you ask him something, he'll close his eyes and then do the samyama process. And then that's how he finds out what is in the past. So one can also understand the future by the similar logic. Is this clear? So this is how the past and future is looked at. It can be for oneself, or it can be for anybody else. All that information is there up above. So where is he getting that information from? Up above, looking at this. Okay. Let me share the other screen so that you understand. So this is our PPT. So let us say I am doing the samyama. I am B2, let us say. I'm the second one, Chitta 2. And I'm doing a samyama on Chitta 1. So, and I'm trying to get some past things in the past. Maybe this birth or earlier birth, it doesn't matter. So from where am I getting it? Come on, people. It's not that difficult.
The cosmic chitta. Ishvara. Ishvara.
No.
From the cosmic flow, cosmic chitta. Cosmic chitta.
No, you have to tell me in the block diagram for where it is coming.
The tambara.
Where will your past be in that box?
Individual B2.
In the individual chitta.
Chitta.
Is it not?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Because all our whatever has happened in all the earlier births, is here, is up here.
Individual. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And on a regular basis, this is getting updated from here. So everything is there. In this birth stuff is also here. And earlier things are also there. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So this birth thing, even if it is not fully there, all the earlier birth thing is completely and fully is there in that chitta, in that box. This is mine. And these are all the rest of the people. Each one is here. Right? So he will be able to go and get that from there. You're with me? You're able to understand?
Yes. Yes.
So if I am B2, I am in this body, and I want to get something about B1, about Chitta 1, I will get everything, whatever I want, I can get from here. I have to place a query and let go, and the results will come from there. Okay? So normally we say everything is available. So you should know where that everything is available.
Okay.
You should not be blind. Just like you have stored files in your laptop, this is how it is. All that information of various births are there. And you all of you know that each individual chitta has a unique ID. So every time it comes down with a copy of the chitta and with that unique ID. So when it goes back, it will go and merge with that unique ID. It will not go, this C1 will not go and merge with C3. I mean B3 or the chitta 3. C3 will go, C1 will only merge with chitta 1. This chitta here, these vibrations will go when upon death, will go and only merge with here. It will not go and merge there. Okay? Because they all have individual IDs. I don't know if you're following what I'm saying. This cannot go and merge with this because it can only merge with this one because of that ID. Like when I speak, it is coming to your cell phone because cell phone is the ID here. So we all have an ID, individual ID. It may be a long string of characters, and which is the same ID we take birth after birth after birth after birth. It's the same ID. There's no change to that ID. Is it making sense?
Yes.
Akka is not saying yes.
Yes. Yes.
You're understanding. Okay. You go back to the sutra. Next sutra. शब्द अर्थ प्रत्ययानाम इतरेत्र अध्यासात संस्कृतस्त प्रविभाग संयमात् सर्वभूत उत ज्ञानम. So, Shabda Artha Pratyayanam Itaretra Adhyasat Sanskrastat Pravibhaga Samyamat Sarva Bhutha Uta Jnanam. So let's see what he says. Yeah. I thought we spoke about this just last week, about Dr. Doolittle and all that, didn't we? I thought I covered about 2, 3, 18. Anyway.
Not last week.
No, sir, we didn't cover up anything about doctors.
Okay, Shabda. Sabdam, we know, sound or vibration, word. Artha is meaning or inner understanding. Pratyaya is conviction, intent, all that. So, Shabda Artha Pratyayanam, from sound or vibrations, meaning and intent. That's what is the meaning of that. Itaretra, itara plus itara, that is itara. Another and another. Discretely different, varying, these are all the meanings. We'll see when he goes to the summary, we'll see all that. Adhyasat, by convergence or connective understanding. So, Shabda Artha Pratyayanam Itaretra Adhyasat means by collective understanding of the discretely different vibrations or sounds, vibrations, meaning and intent. Sankarastat, mixed or confused. Sankara means in Sanskritam confused or mixed. Sankara. Pravibhaga is separated or distinguished. Samyamat, we know by the process of Samyama, the threefold process. Sarva, we know that too. Bhuta, anything that is created out of matter. Rutha is the cry or sound. Jnana, knowledge, awareness. So he says, by Samyama on confused or mixed and distinguished, on the sound or mixed, on the confused or mixed and distinguished understanding from the connective understanding of the sound, meaning and intent. Discretely one gets knowledge of sounds of everything worldly. So what this means is, by one can get different abilities. What kind of ability can one get? One, by doing a samyama on the sounds that one is hearing, one can clearly understand what is the meaning of that sound. So this is also saying that one can understand various languages, even if one doesn't know, one has not learned a language, one can understand what the other person is saying. Other person, or even for that matter, animal kingdom, one can understand. That's what it's saying. It is a special ability that one can get, but by the Samyama process. And remember, Samyama process is one is getting all this information in the state of samadhi. So which means there is connectivity with the divine. So only with the divine's blessing, one can get all these kinds of special abilities. So starting from the sutra, we are discussing all the special abilities. So this is where that I think I mentioned about that movie, Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah. Yes.
Didn't I speak about it last week?
Yes.
So we did cover until 3:18.
Yes. Right.
I,
I spoke about Dr. Doolittle last week.
mm,
Eddie Murphy. I mentioned that name too, probably. He's the hero in that movie. Eddie Murphy.
I don't remember, sir.
You probably slept off.
No, morning I
I
watched
have
it.
written it here.
Hmm?
Film Dr. Doolittle.
No. Maybe towards the end of the class, you probably dozed off.
No, daytime, no question of dosing. Nighttime, I can sleep at 8 in the morning. I mean, maybe let us see recording, we will see, sir.
Here afterwards, I had to write down.
Mhm.
Yes, he said, I have written it here. Film Dr. Doolittle, I have written
Oh, see?
it.
But still, let me see.
317 years. That's what. So all kinds of sounds that people or animals make, you can have the knowledge of that. That's what he said. So this sutra is telling us how through this samyama process of a very subtle kind, a person can know all languages and means of sound communication. That is what he's saying about Shabda. Right? Shabda is sound, communication, word, understanding. So see this movie when you get a chance. This movie, Dr. Doolittle. I think it is a 1998. Based 1998. The movie I think came out in 1990. Anyway, so let's. Any questions? It's a pretty straightforward sutra. Let's sutra. Sanskara sakshat karnat purva jhati jnanam. So from here on, please understand these are all special abilities, sutras and special abilities, which we call as siddhis. So the siddhas that most of you may be familiar with, these siddhas had these kinds of siddhis. They may not have had all the siddhis. They may have had some of the siddhis which we are talking about. And all siddhis are not covered here. There are maybe some siddhis that Patanjali Muni may not be covering here. But he has covered the whole, pretty much the whole spectrum. So even if he has missed a few, it would probably be part of something else that he has spoken about here. So please bear that in mind. So sanskara sakshat karnat purva jhati jnanam. So let's look at it. Sanskara. So we know what is sanskara. What is sanskara? Don't read the impressions it says, but I need a better
Programs
explanation.
or activations. Programs or activations.
What programs? If you read, I will find out. That's why I'm asking that question.
Programs.
Okay, I will share another screen so that
Karmas and kleshas, sir.
The vrittis.
karmas and
And
kleshas, not
are
else. What else? I've forgotten.
Vasanas.
Vasanas, correct. So there is one more piece, vasanas. Although vasanas, generally, people try to club it as part of sanskaras, we have to probably remember all that. Okay. I wanted to show you. Let me stop this.
Vasanas, sir.
Yeah, vasanas.
Okay.
See. Okay, that's all the way 31, I think. Yeah. I remember many of these pages by heart.
Guna action.
Can you see this? You have seen this earlier.
Yes, sir.
So, look at the sanskara. This is the sanskara. So sanskara is coming from all the kleshas. And then avidya is the biggest part. Not that others don't make anything, create anything. Raga, dvesha is another big part. So raga, dvesha, avidya, and the raga, dvesha, abhinivesha creates these active reactions are created by them. And with avidya, we create new karma patterns. And the new karma patterns, with that, new sanskaras are formed. Okay. And so, like what Madhavi said, kleshas, karmas, and then Shobhu indicated vasanas. So sanskaras and vasanas are often used as same meaning, though although technically vasanas emerge from samskaras. The leanings, how we in the next birth, what type of things we do, that leaning really comes from the sanskara of this birth, the karmas and kleshas, how the karma patterns will dictate the vasana of the next birth. So if you're a thief, yeah, in this birth, most likely, or you're from a family of thieves, most likely in the next birth also the person when he's born, he may have those traits of stealing and stealing from others. Okay, it could be good, it could be bad, doesn't matter. So you are able to understand this?
Yes.
So this is on page 31 of the document that you have. You all have this. So all these three things you must see all the time. This diagram, the PPT, that is the yoga model of creation, everything, which I showed you earlier, and then the Yoga Sutra document. These three constantly you have to look at it 10 times a day. Let's go to the Yoga Sutra. Okay. So sanskara sakshat karanat purva jati jnana. So sanskara we know. Karma, kleshas, vasanas, all put together. All these are impressions. All these are programs. So each of them, though, although we are saying karma, klesha, and vasana, it is not one program of each. It doesn't mean only 3 programs. So each one can be a collection of 1,000 programs, or 1,500 programs, or 5,000 programs. Okay. Think of each program as an icon on your each program. Think of it as an icon in your cell phone or laptop. So he says, sanskara, we see that those are the impressions. Sakshat karanat. Karanat is karanat. So by directly experiencing the working of all these, purva jati. Jati we know, right? It could mean birds. It could also mean species. It could mean the environment. So purva jati here is previous births. Jnana, knowledge or awareness. So by directly experiencing the workings of the sanskaras, one gets knowledge of previous birth. That is, when one does the samyama on one's sanskaras or somebody else's sanskaras, one gets knowledge of previous births. What they were doing in the previous birth, what were they, whether they were a human being or an animal or whatever. All this information, where is it coming from, this information, Chobo?
B2, individual, B2, individual.
Yeah, the chitta that is there in ether. So actually the chitta in ether that we see in that gray box, if you find it easier, you can call it as the Karana Sharira. That is what is Karana Sharira.
Causal body.
Yeah, causal body.
Causal body.
You have a gross body, the vibrations are the subtle body, and the causal body is in the ether. If that is so, you have this Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and Karana Sharira. So all this information you get from the Karana Sharira. Shall we go on to the next one? Pratyayasya parachitta jnanam. Pratyayasya parachitta jnanam. So pratyayasya, by conviction, parachitta, the chitta of others. So jnanam is, we know, knowledge or awareness, all that. So by conviction or intent, knowledge of others chitta is acquired. That's what he's saying. So again, by conviction, intent, all this is that samyama process. So others chitta can be acquired means you can look at the others chitta in great detail. That's what he's saying. So these are all simple sutras. I mean, he is maybe one of the disciples asking a question and is just giving a little bit more explanation. Let me see if I have any notes from this. That's what it means. So by looking at their chitta by looking at others, one can know all their characteristics, what they are, whether they are people of, whether they are reliable, or whether they will say a lot of lies. So they're unreliable people, whether they will keep their word, or whether they are cheats. All these things one can find out because all the data is there in their chitta, correct?
Mhm.
Just as we have all that information, they also have all that information. So one can look at all that. That's what he's saying. Dr. Rajan will do this. He will tell you. So he need not tell us what type of person we are. We need to know, let us say about somebody else, he can tell you. But he won't, but he can. In certain situations, he will tell you. Not about in the small group, but about somebody else, he will say this. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Na, any question? Na cha tat salambhanam tasya avishayi bhutatvat. Na cha tat salambhanam tasya avishayi bhutatvat. So, na is not or no. Cha is also and all that. Na cha is but not. Tat, we know that, or it. Salambanam, we have seen this earlier to Salambanam, the support. Somewhere we said, with the support of karma or kleshas in earlier sutras in chapter 2, I think. Tasya is it or his of that. Avishayi, lack of subject matter or imperceptible content. Bhutatvat is because of being in the nature of created matter. Bhutatvat is always created matter of this world. Tasya avishayi bhutatvat. Because of all three words put together, because of its lack of information, content in created matter. So in summary, let us see what it says. But not the support of the chitta, which is God, because of its imperceptible content in its matter. So let us see what he says here. 320. Look, what all that he's saying is that anything, any chitta, anything for that matter, any chitta, everything is a chitta, right? Living, non-living, everything is a chitta. So, the understanding that if for the root source of everything, every program entity relies in the final state of connectivity with the God, with the divine, right? So the root source of any program entity, any chitta, any program entity relies in the final state, in the final state of connectivity with God, with the divine. In other words, you cannot know the root of where it all comes from, even though you can know about the nature of another chitta or another program entity or another being. That is, you can know about all other chittas, their characteristics and all that, but you will not know from where it is coming from. Meaning, you cannot go all the way to zone A through that. See, the unmanifest divine is unknowable. That's what it is saying. Correct? The unmanifest divine can only be experienced. It is unknowable. You cannot know the characteristics of the unmanifest divine and all that. Correct?
Yes.
So that's what the chitta is saying. You may know, you may find out about each and every individual chitta you want to know by doing the samyama on them. But you can, as you keep going back on that samyama, various births, finally you will get to the point of from the source. First birth, you may go right up to the first birth, beyond which you will not be able to go, because beyond which it is
Unknown.
It is the unmanifest divine
Unmanifest.
which has made this happen. So you cannot know the characteristics and source, characteristics of the unmanifest divine. That's what it is saying. So the root of this cannot be known. That's what it is saying. The root or the source of this chitta, the original root or source of the chitta, cannot be known. Kaya rupa samyamat tad grahya shakti stambhe chakshuhu prakasha asamprayoge antardhanam. Kaya rupa samyamat tad grahya shakti stambhe sakshuhu prakasha asamprayoge antardhanam. So let's see what it says. Kaya rupa. So we know kaya means this body, the physical body. So the rupa is form, the form of the physical body form, whatever. Samyama, grahya, grasping or holding. Shakti, power or energy or ability. Stambhe, by motionless or by anchoring. I mean, by being stable. By stambichu poita, we say in Tamil, right? Meaning they are frozen in time. Chakshuhu prakasha, light in the eyes or light coming to the eyes. Asamprayoge, not being able to use. Actually, there is a spelling mistake here. It says asampayoge in English. It should be asamprayoge. Antardhanam, hidden or invisible. So, let us see what it is saying. By samyama on the physical body form, that energy held motionless, disconnected from the light entering in the eyes, one becomes invisible. So, all that this is saying is by doing samyama, one can become invisible to others. this is a siddhi. Like each one is a siddhi, right? Each sutra is a siddhi. In this siddhi, by doing a samyama on the physical form of whoever it is, that is, let us say I am speaking to Shobhu. We are standing and speaking. And so by doing a samyama on her physical form, that is the light that is emanating from her eyes and all that, by doing a samyama on that, I can become invisible to her. So if there are 1,000 people, I can become invisible to them. I can do a samyama on all of them and all their physical form, and I can become invisible to them, or selectively I can become invisible, whatever way. So these are all special abilities, siddhis. So if I'm surrounded by enemies, I can become invisible. Okay, I don't have to run. The enemies will run thinking that I have gone somewhere. They will go in search of me and I can coolly walk off. Okay. This is this also is something like a cloaking technology that we speak about in modern times, when this Air Force jets, when they go to the enemy territory, they can be detected by radar. The radar is the eyes of the enemy, correct? Radar. RADAR, radar. Are the eyes of the enemy. So with the radar is how they detect what is coming into their territory. So if the fighter plane can beat the radar, meaning flying very low or very high, or they use material, how does the radar work? Does anybody know?
No. Don't know.
Bats, vowel, bats, they have radar.
Oh.
That is how radar was developed, by observing bats. Bats don't have eyes, or their eyes, or their vision is very, very poor. So how they fly? And they are flying in darkness all the time. How do they fly? How do they know? You can see them going very, very close to walls, but they won't hit the wall. They will bounce back. So what they do is they emit a sound wave, and the sound waves have the ability to bounce back when they hit an obstruction. So when a sound wave hits a wall, it will bounce back. Okay, so the bat calculates from the time it emitted the sound wave and the time it took for the sound wave to come back, that echo. It's called the echo, right? People, are you with me?
Yes.
So the bat emits a sound signal, and the sound signal hits something and comes back. It takes a finite amount of time. It may take a millisecond, it may take a 100 milliseconds, it may take 1 second, whatever. Based on that, it knows the distance, because it knows the speed at which it is flying. All it is doing is instantly discalculating all that, and then so instantly it knows, and then it knows that if I fly in this direction, I'm going to hit something in the next 5 seconds or 10 seconds. It knows that. So it will move away from that and change its direction. And it will keep on doing that all the time, so that it flies without getting hit, without hitting an object. With me?
Yes.
So this is the radar technology where they emit some electronic waves, and they will see how far they will. If I'm emitting an electronic wave, I know what time I sent it, and then the electronic wave will hit something and bounce back. So I will detect the bouncing back. So I will calculate the difference in the time, and based on the speed of the electronic wave, with which the electronic wave has a certain speed. So I know, because the electronic wave has the speed of light, or if I'm sending sound wave, I know the sound wave's speed. Based on that, I can calculate the distance. So this is how so when jet planes are coming, the radar will be constantly sending signals, and the moment it gets a hit, it knows something is coming towards towards my country. I know something is coming. So I will measure that, and I know how quickly it is coming. Constantly they will be making that measurement, and I know how quickly it is coming, and then immediately evasive action can be taken. So these are all connected together, and immediately a gun will fire, and a ballistic missile will be sent, and it will hit the plane, the fighter jet. And the fighter jet knows how the bomb is coming, how the gun is firing. It is tracking that, and so it will take evasive action. So this goes on. This is what is called dogfight. Hello? Have you heard of dogfight? No.
No.
You people don't read newspaper? So this is what is called dogfight, dodging.
Dodging.
At high speed and high risk. This is what fighter pilots do in Air Force. They develop these high skills. They have to look at so many things, and they have to make instantaneous decisions. Otherwise, the plane will get hit, and they will not only we lose the plane, we lose the pilot as well. So cloaking technology is being invisible to the radar. So certain kinds of material, when they are used in the fighter jets, the older radars cannot detect them. It will not bounce back. They will just absorb these electronic signals. It won't bounce back. So which means later radars have to come up with something with which they can still bounce back. They have to emit electronic waves in such a way. So that is why Western countries, they keep on developing technology by which their planes cannot be detected that easily. And by the time the third world countries catch up, again the first world countries have gone up in their technology. Once again, you cannot detect their planes when they come in. This is only when I say they cannot detect their planes, it is only in terms of defense, Air Force planes I'm talking about, not the commercial planes. Commercial planes, you want it to be detected, so that the commercial planes can be guided properly. That is why the commercial planes can only fly if there is permission to fly over countries. For example, if Pakistan suddenly says Indian planes cannot fly over their country, and any commercial plane flies over, because the planes, when they are flying, they are constantly sending signals, and the signals that they are sending has an ID, and that ID identifies the plane, to which country it belongs and all that. So immediately Pakistan knows that this country, we have not given permission for them to fly over country, and some plane is coming. So immediately they will dispatch their own fighter jets to intercept this commercial plane. You must have read all this in the newspaper, haven't you?
Yes. They close their airspace sometimes.
Huh?
They close their
Close their-
airspace if
Yeah.
the
They
Over
close
on-
their airspace. This is
Immediate.
what, yeah, this is how they detect when our they close the airspace, and then if you fly over, because their radars are constantly scanning and they pick up these IDs, the commercial planes cannot shut off their IDs. They have to keep sending it. So they detect that, and they know that it's coming from India, which they're close the airspace. So fighter jets will be dispatched, and then the fighter jets will fly alongside the plane and escort it to the nearest airport in Pakistan, in the enemy country, and make it land. I mean, it could be an enemy country, or they might have temporarily closed the airspace. In either case, they will do this. People, please, read up things when these kinds of things expand your understanding. Don't constantly look only at Sandil Balaji news. So that's what is cloaked. So we'll start with Sutra 22 next week. So we covered up to cloaking technology. 31 is cloaking technology. So he says by doing this, just like in modern era, how the planes are being cloaked. Here individually, one can become invisible. That's what he's saying. Any questions? No one is asking questions.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. In
Yes.
samskaras, you said the vasana is one of them. So can you please explain a little bit about vasana?
See, vasana means leaning.
Hmm.
Leanings.
Okay.
So
Leaning.
how you behave based on the program patterns. So in one birth, if you have been a musician, so certain karmic patterns are formed, in the chitta, certain programs have been created in the chitta with those musical talents, right? With
Yes,
me?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So upon death, all this goes and merges in the Karana Sharira, in the causal body.
Mhm.
Which means in the next birth, before taking birth and it comes to fruitioning, you are going to have this leaning of a musician in the next
Oh.
birth.
Mhm.
That is how we see
Mm.
at a very young age, children when they are born, by the age of 1.5 or 2, they are able to pick up
Tell about
raga and all that. They are
Tell
able to pick up.
couple of videos to me.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay.
So
Okay.
it is
Thank you,
just a
sir.
vasana, yes,
Mhm.
based on the previous karma patterns, with which they were in the previous
Mm.
birth.
Mm.
So this child, the 1-year-old child, is having this ability. So that means this child also had a previous birth, correct?
Yes, sir.
That means this child has chitta. So
Mhm.
that means this child has karma.
Mhm.
So it has to go through the karmic consequence. Now people constantly ask this question, right? Why does a small child suddenly have this problem? And
Mm. Mm.
if the child has a death at a very young age, people ask this question because
Mm.
don't see it as a body, see it as a chitta.
Mm.
Everybody you must see as a chitta. Everything in this world, table, chair, everything you must see as a chitta. Everything is a chitta.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, everyone. I will see you next Sunday. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you. Kumar.
Namaste.
Namaste, Kumar.
You all have to leave so that I can leave finally.